What's going on, everybody, and welcome to Coffee Break Tuesday. My name is Rob. I trust you have a fine tasting and highly caffeinated dark brown beverage in your hand, because today we're discussing a journey that will require it. Where to start with classical or liberal education. I'm going to throw out a bunch of resources I have found and material we have used along this journey. None of the organizations or people I mention are sponsoring this video, as I highly doubt any of them even know I exist. And some of them have been dead for a few hundred years, so there's that. And with the disclaimers out of the way, let's get started. Learning about classical education can be overwhelming in the beginning, especially if you are a product of the public school system, as I am. I'm not knocking public school, but it's just a completely different education because the goals between classical and public education are completely different. Classical education, in my opinion, is the pursuit to better yourself through classical works. There are some gatekeepers to the classical education world that are adamant about specific definitions and rant about specific aspects that they deem necessary, but most are trying to sell a course or a program or even their soul. I'm just kidding. John Milton's Tractate on Education, in my opinion, is a great place to get an idea of what a classical education would entail. I created a video on this book a while back. If you want to check it out, I will link it down below. It's a great place to start. One of my favorite classical education resources I have come across is Memoria Press. I listen to their podcast and I love the message they put out. Their crew is a joy to listen to, and we actually use Memoria's curriculum for our kids, and they absolutely love it. It is separated by grades, so you purchase all the materials in a bundle for each grade. Memoria is a no-joke curriculum, and if you want to really challenge your kids or even yourself, it's a great place to start. The only negative reviews I see about the course or Memoria is that it's too intense. But my wife loves this program, and we have seen some amazing results with it with our kids. My second favorite resource I have found to improve my own classical knowledge is Hillsdale College. They offer these amazing free online courses that dive deep into some of the classical subjects that are well worth studying. These are a great supplement to your learning, and I truly respect their message and stance they take in regards to society. Pursuing light in a dark world is not as praiseworthy as it should be. I have completed many of their courses, and each time I finish one, I'm just blown away at how they are willing to provide this level of education for free. Hillsdale's online course catalog is huge. It would probably take you years to get through them all if you read the books and the materials that corresponded to the course. Moving to the next thing, there are a few classical book series that I believe are essential if you want to do more of a self-study on your own time. The Great Books of the Western World are probably the most well-organized set, in my opinion, and they are in chronological order. So you start with the beginning of Western culture, and you progress through the centuries or even millennia until modern time. The Harvard Classics, which I am covering on this channel, is another great resource. I have covered the Harvard Classics subject in other videos, so I will steer clear of any additional details so as not to annoy you with repetition. Now, there are some online podcasts and lectures that are amazing as well. Michael Segru, a professor who has sadly passed away, but his lectures are still online and are amazing to listen to. You can check them out on YouTube, and I will link his channel down below. No notes, no book, just a dude explaining in detail and passion about classical works. I also like Dr. Segru too because the material is old enough where it is not politicized as many recent works and lectures are. Ralston College has an amazing podcast as well that dives deep into some of the classical topics. They also offer Greek and Latin studies where you actually travel to Greece or Italy and you immerse yourself in the language. I just think that's so cool. I mean, if I had the chance to do college over again, I would honestly pick probably Hillsdale or Ralston. If you are looking for a less demanding option to learn Greek or Latin, which most would say are essential to a full classical education, Duolingo offers Greek and Latin for free. I have been using Duolingo for years, but I have been studying the Greek and Latin courses for the past 2 to 3 months. And it's amazing what you can pick up and learn in just 10 to 15 minutes a day. Another option is I mentioned Memoria Press earlier. They also offer Greek and Latin in their curriculum. My oldest kid starts Latin next year, and I'm going to order the same curriculum as them, and I honestly plan to learn both Greek and Latin as they learn it over the next few years. Because, I mean, let's be honest, I can't let them have all the fun. One aspect of classical education that gets debated often is the Bible's role in classical education. A true classical education includes the study of Christianity and the Hebrew religion, and I think it is essential as well for a reason that I do not hear argued very often. If you want to read Dante, Paradise Lost, Pilgrim's Progress, or many of the other classical works, a sufficient knowledge of the Bible will help give context to these books. The Bible, in and of itself, is an amazing work that is just as significant as a classical read as the Odyssey or Shakespeare. For reasons why classical education is important, I think there is no better place to start than reading about the American Revolution. Now, this is contested as well by true classicalists, but what is not contested nowadays? If you study the education of men like Sam Adams, Joseph Warren, John Adams, Nathan Hale, you will notice a commonality they all had: a certain type of education. Thomas Jefferson, Madison, and even more self-created men such as Hamilton and Franklin. Pick anyone, John Jay, Aaron Burr, and you will find the root of their studies are in the classics. They all had a true passion for liberal education. Now, I don't want to get sidetracked with this stuff, but if you need inspiration on why a classical education is important, then look no further than the men who created this country. And not just men. Read about Abigail Adams, Mercy Otis Warren, or Phyllis Wheatley, all three who were mostly self-taught and all well-read. I see the classical education torch, so to speak, being picked up by women. My wife, after completing all the material Memoria Press offers in their curriculums for the next 12 years, times 4 kids, will place her at a reading level beyond anyone I know in my personal life. YouTube channels such as The Commonplace, which is ran by Autumn Kern, is a great example of this as well. She also has a podcast and other educational resources. Just a wealth of information there, and she is organized with her spreadsheets, and her channel focuses on not just learning, but doing it in a beautiful and organized way. I would highly suggest checking her channel out, which will be linked below with everything else. So everything I have discussed, I will link and organize down in the description below. Again, short from peddling my coffee to you in every video, I'm not sponsored by any of these organizations or people. They are just the ones I either use, I listen to, or that I'm inspired by. Please check them out. And if you have any questions, I would be happy to share anything I know below. And with that being said, if you want some great tasting, freshly roasted coffee, you can always find my coffee linked below. I just updated my website, so it may look a little different from last time. I've added a few new features, so please poke around and just enjoy yourself. And that kind of sounds weird. Anyway, I hope you got something from this video. Share in the comments if there are any resources that you enjoy that I did not mention. Drink some amazing coffee. Read some great books. And I will see you very, very soon. As always, Plato's Republic is coming, and it will be out this week. Anyway, thank you so much for watching. I love y'all, and peace out.